When you think of Scottish history, you probably picture ancient castles, fierce battles and kings and queens who shaped the nation. But in the heart of Edinburgh, hidden from the crowds, lies something just as extraordinary. A vast hall of colour and light, painted by a visionary woman in an age where women artists were barely recognised. It's been called Edinburgh's Sistine Chapel, but its real story is one of artistic genius, near destruction, and a fight to save a piece of Scotland's history that almost slipped away forever. Just east of Edinburgh's new town, itself a monument to the Scottish Enlightenment, stands Mansfield Traquair. Built in the 1870s by the celebrated Scottish architect Robert Rowand Anderson, who would later design the Scottish National Portrait Gallery, it began life as the Catholic Apostolic Church, part of a movement that believed in grand, awe-inspiring spaces filled with symbolic art. But no one could have imagined that one artist's work here would transform this building into one of the most spectacular interiors in all of Edinburgh's history. Phoebe Anna Traquair was born in Dublin in 1852, highly educated for a woman of her time, and a trained artist whose influences ranged from Celtic illuminated manuscripts to the vivid visions of William Blake. In 1873, she married Dr. Ramsay Traquair, a Scottish paleontologist, and moved to Edinburgh the following year. For years, she worked quietly, producing embroidery, illustrations, and enamel work. But in 1892, the Catholic Apostolic Church entrusted her with a commission unlike anything she had attempted before: to cover Mansfield's vast interior walls with biblical and apocalyptic scenes. She would work almost entirely alone for 8 years, climbing scaffolding, mixing pigments, and painting through the brief hours of good light in Edinburgh's fickle weather. But the vision she created here wasn't just religious art. It was a fusion of the Italian Renaissance, Celtic tradition, and the arts and crafts movement on a scale Scotland had never seen. Crossing the threshold today, the space seems to breathe around you. The 19-metre-high chancel arch explodes with colour, a great rainbow spanning 4 colossal cherubim, each painted 4 times life-size, an evangelist with an open Bible, an apostle clutching a crown, a prophet with a harp, and a pastoral cherub carrying a lamb and a staff. Along the north wall, the life of Christ unfolds in a series of scenes, from miracles to the crucifixion. On the south wall, Old Testament stories, Adam and Eve, Noah's Ark, and the great patriarchs. In the chancel aisles, the parable of the wise and foolish virgins glows in the lighter, more delicate colours. Botticelli-like figures, framed by intricate Celtic borders, a tribute to William Morris. Every surface is alive. Humans, angels, animals, patterns, each telling a piece of the biblical narrative. And yet, if you look closely, you can still see the delicate brushstrokes and gilded reliefs Traquair herself applied over a century ago. But for all its beauty, Mansfield Traquair's future would soon hang by a thread. The last apostolic priest died in 1958, and without a congregation, the building fell silent. Damp seeped into the walls, cracking the plaster. Layers of dust, soot, and even bird droppings dulled the colours. By the 1980s, this jewel of Edinburgh's history was crumbling, and for a time it seemed the murals might be lost forever. And then a group of determined locals decided they weren't going to let that happen. In 1992, the Friends of Mansfield Place Church, later the Friends of Mansfield Traquair, formed with one mission: to save the building and its murals. Their campaigns raised awareness and funding, leading to the creation of the Mansfield Traquair Trust. But the fight wasn't easy. In the late 1990s, Edinburgh City Council issued a compulsory purchase order to wrest the building from private owners who had let it decay. Court challenges followed, but by 1998, the Trust had secured ownership. Then came the delicate stage: restoration. Led by Fiona Allardyce of Historic Scotland, conservators from across Europe worked for 2 years to clean and stabilise the murals. They vacuumed away grime, injected marble dust into hollow plaster, refixed flaking paint, and delicately repainted missing sections using a pointillist technique. In some places, they reapplied gold leaf to halos and instruments, just as Phoebe had done more than a century ago. Traquair's method was as unique as her vision. She prepared walls with layers of zinc-white pigment textured to catch the light, then painted with oils mixed with beeswax for a luminous finish. Her palette was small but rich: deep ultramarine, earthy ochres, vivid greens, and organic reds and pinks. The result? murals that shimmered in the shifting light, designed to inspire awe from the moment you stepped inside. And thanks to the restoration, they still do. Today, Mansfield Traquair is both a living venue and a piece of preserved history. On open days, usually the second Sunday of each month, visitors can explore the nave, guided by volunteers who share stories of Phoebe's life, the biblical narratives in the murals, and the painstaking restoration. The building also hosts weddings, conferences, and cultural events, a new chapter in its long history as a gathering place for the people of Edinburgh. Mansfield Traquair is more than Edinburgh's Sistine Chapel. It's a testament to the resilience of Scottish history, the genius of a pioneering woman, and the power of a community to save its heritage. In a city overflowing with historic landmarks, this is one that too few people ever see, and one you'll never forget. Now that you've discovered this hidden masterpiece, you'll want to see another of Edinburgh's great historic wonders, Craigmillar Castle, and the secrets it's been hiding for centuries.